Okay, so this segment is going to be focused on getting organized. We're going to get organized in our homes, in our office spaces, or workspace, I should say. We're also going to get organized in the garage and in the car, all the areas that we are the most often. Getting organized is the number one way you can do it without spending money, without spending a lot of time. It's going to take a little energy, but you can do it. So sit down and get a game plan. What is the most unorganized place in the house? And then what is the least most unorganized place in the house? Get yourself a plan together that you can follow. This is your home. This is your safe haven. So go and don't start in the junk drawer or in the big massive closet. That's a nightmare. Those are too overwhelming. You'll be exhausted and then you won't get to the other things. I say start small and keep going, and before you know it, you've tackled all those. The small things will inspire you to do the bigger things. So we all think, well, that closet's a nightmare, I better get in there and just tear that closet apart and reorganize. Then you do it, and then you're exhausted, and you're like, I'm never doing that again. So let's do the small things, and that will lead to the big things. In the kitchen, most of the time, our counter spaces are what's cluttered. So we have everything up on the counters, and we have mail stacked up on the counter, and why? It almost becomes like an old filing system. The stuff in the front is the most used, and the stuff in the back is stuff we've not touched, we've not used, we've not messed with. Go through it, stand back and look at it with fresh eyes. The best way, I think, to look at your house through different eyes is to go on vacation, and then when you first come home, when you walk through the door, have that in mind. And what do you see, what do you notice? Because it becomes a blur to us on an everyday scale. So take everything off your counter, like one section at a time, and go through it. If it's stuff you don't use every day and every week, put it in the cabinet. If you never use it, it was something you bought and you thought you'd use it every day all the time and you've touched it once, get rid of it. Throw it away. Donate it. Sell it on Facebook or Snapchat or any other social media aspects. Clearing that off will, for one, make your room feel bigger, and it won't clutter the mind. So I've always said a cluttered home leads to a cluttered mind, which leads to a cluttered life. And it's so true, because when your home or workspace is cluttered, it clutters your mind. You can't focus, you don't know where everything's at. Even if it's cluttered and you do know where it's at, it's clutter. That clutters your mind and stresses you out even if you don't realize it. Then your life becomes cluttered because you're so just all over the place all the time. Let's reel it all in. Clean up your desk, clean up your counters, clean up your rooms. Organize it, and your mind will be more at ease, I guarantee you. So yeah, start small in the kitchen, get rid of things, wipe it down. It probably will surprise you how much stuff you don't really use and you just have and have out. It can make you a little money on the side too if you start selling some of your stuff. So, the bedroom, the little things in the bedroom, if you have a big nightstand and it's full of stuff, papers and change and keys and mail, and is it needed to be there? I think the bedroom is like a sanctuary. That should be somewhere that's very relaxing, calming. Oprah said, never to put a TV in your bedroom. I get that. I have to have a TV in my bedroom. I don't watch it a lot, but every once in a while I do like to crawl up in bed, especially in the winter. Turn a good movie on, snuggle up to my blankets and pillows. So that's my preference. If you can go without a TV in the bedroom, I don't think it's a bad thing, especially if you have a partner. Never let the TV become the first priority, along with cell phones, tablets, anything else. Make each other the first priority. If you're both going to be on your phones and Facebook and all that stuff and sit and focus on that, then do it together. But then there needs to become a time where you both put that aside. Anyways, back to organizing. The side tables, clear those off. If you're the type of person that just by habit fills them, then you need to pull that out of that room and get a smaller area. And maybe stack a few books and a lamp, have a place for your either phone to charge or a drink, and that's it. If the place isn't there to fill, then you won't fill it. That clutter won't be there. Also, your clothes, if you're used to taking them off and throwing them in a pile, we all have our place, whether it's in the bathroom, the bedroom, throughout the house, whatever. When you take your clothes off at the end of the day, where do you put them? If you do put them in the floor, into the footbed, or the foot of the bed, or in a corner, or wherever, get a hamper, put them in the hamper. Then at least it's contained and it looks nice, and it doesn't upset the whole room because there's a pile of clothes. Makes a huge difference, little things. The closets are a big thing for everyone in every household. I'm a firm believer on color coordinating your clothes. So you can just color coordinate them, have all your reds, all your blues, all your greens, all your blacks, all your grays. Or you can go a step more, you can do like all your long sleeves and color coordinate it, and then all your long sleeves and color coordinate it. You just have to figure out kind of what works for you and what you can maintain. That's the biggest thing. That we all have the way we'd want it and the way it really is. So figure that out. It makes it easy so in the morning or in the evening, whenever you go to get dressed, you walk in and you need a long sleeve shirt because it's cold outside, you go right to that spot. Then you just pick which one. You're not digging through a whole closet to find a shirt. Same thing, short sleeves or your polos or your dress shirts versus your casual shirts. You go in and you know what you're needing and you go right for it and it clears it up. Huge potential in everybody's closet, I'm sure. Another way to stay motivated while organizing your home is to take before and after pictures. I found taking that picture of before and going, ooh, that's a mess, and then taking an after photo, for one, it motivates me to get to the point where I can take the after photo. We don't stop halfway through and think I'll come back to it next year. But it will motivate you to finish it, and then if you post that on your social media, it is wonderful. For one, you're motivating other people, hopefully. Second, it's giving you that reinforcement, that positive reinforcement of saying, job well done, I love what you did, congratulations. Let's use those social media platforms for more of a positive atmosphere, more of a positive reinforcement and sharing than that person cut me off, how dare them. My day was so bad, work was horrible, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that, let's inject some positivity into our spiels on there, and hopefully we inspire other people to do the same. We have to start somewhere. So you know what's in your home, you know the areas that upset you the most. Tackle them. It doesn't really take much. Turn on some good music, whatever it takes to get you motivated, do it. Watch some motivational videos. Get on YouTube. Google organizing. That is one of the best ways to motivate, getting ideas. You have to get the idea, and then you have to act upon the idea. You can't just say, ooh, that's a great idea, I want to do that, and then nothing happened. So, I also say at the office is a very important spot. We spend a lot of time in our workspaces. Whether it be a cubicle, whether it be a full office room, whether it be just a big building, we spend a lot of time there. No matter what atmosphere you're in, you can control some of the chaos. If you do have an office or a cubicle or a desk or your area, no matter how big or small, you need to organize it. If everything that is out and piled up is what you really truly need every day and you use, highly unlikely by the way, then figure out a way to make it work. Files, little tiered filing systems, a drawer. Stacking and cramming your stuff everywhere is not working for you or your coworkers or anybody else. So clean that up. If you know somebody in the office has a really nice area, like a little desk that's really cute and organized, everything's in, go to them, talk to them, say, hey, how does your desk stay so nice? I want some tips. Get on, search, look, see some ideas, take those back, put those in place to where your atmosphere at work is a little bit better. If your atmosphere at work is good and healthy, no matter how stressful it is, it's still happy and healthy. You're going to go home and you're going to be happier and healthier for the people around you and yourself. So that all falls back on being centered and staying centered. You can't make your house one way and then go to work and be the other way and expect to come home and it stay that way. So it seems like a lot by organizing the entire house and your entire office. It's really not if you just do it in steps and you take time for each spot. Some people are the type that once it's set and done, they can keep it and maintain it. Other people, you can set it, but you have to keep maintaining it because you keep somehow cluttering it. Figure out who you are and then get a plan for it. If you have to set it and it's good and it maintains itself, that's great. That's wonderful. If you're the type of person that has to take a few hours out of each week just to turn around and fix everything back to where organizational standards are, then know that, understand that, and do it. It's not that hard. We always forget about our vehicles. I think our vehicles become a catch-all because we're constantly running and rushing and running and rushing. Take time to clean them out. Is there always like fast food wrappers in there? You know, is there just papers and luggages and drinks? What is accumulating in the car and causing it to be chaos? And then find a way to change those habits and organize them. If you have to, my grandmother years and years and years and years ago, she used to have a little bitty trash bag tied in by the console. So gum or any wrappers or anything like that, we would just place in there. Then when that was full, we just took that out. Then it wasn't in the floorboard and on your seat, in the back seat, on the floorboard. Clothes like jackets and sweaters are a big thing for me. Just get in the habit of grabbing those and take those, or get some kind of crate in your back seat or trunk just to pitch them in. Then when that's full, you just grab the whole thing and you bring them in. It's containing it to where it feels like it's a doable task. So don't forget the vehicle. Spring and fall is a good time to work on the garage. It usually gets cluttered and filled and everything just gets thrown in there. Go ahead and take the time to get rid of things. Yard sale, make the extra money. Half the stuff you don't touch or use. Organize it. Get the yard equipment put up and situated for rest of the winter so it's out of the way. Garden hose. If you're at a point, I like to do it in the end of fall because your garden hose and your tools and your yard stuff, you can kind of organize and make it look really nice because you know you're not going to use it for a few months. So spring, you could do it. The weather's very nice out and it's nice and it kind of gives you that extra energy to go, let's do a project. So always think about the other areas. Once you get your home and your office squared away, your car, the garage, any other extra spots, work on those. It makes a huge life. It keeps you centered. Once you don't have that clutter in your life, everything seems to fall into place. Then you can focus on everything else. When you come in, if you're constantly stacking the mail in the kitchen or by the door and your keys, put them in a drawer. Do you have an extra drawer to where you can come in and just put them in the drawer? If you need them out so you know when to pay them, that's fine too. Go ahead and get a basket where they can stand up, but they look cute. It's all what the eye sees. When you go into a retail store, there's a reason that the normal standard is not mad chaos. The standard is perfection. The standard is everything looking uniform. Everything's color coordinated. There's a color scale in the retail world to where everything is supposed to be laid out in a certain way. So it makes you calm. It makes you want to buy. It makes you happy. It gives you that happy feeling to shop. Now whether the stores you go into have that standard or not are a different story, but it is the reason for that standard being in place. Put that standard in your home and it will give the same results. When you have company coming over or anything like that and everything's nice and neat, it's so much better. You can relax and actually visit with them versus going, oh my gosh, I have people coming over, I've got to clean up, I've got to throw this here, I've got to hide this here. It's not worth all that. We do not live in a perfect world, so by any means, I'm not saying make your house perfection at all times, unless if you've got the extra funds to have a housekeeper come in once a week or once a month or something to help you just maintain a certain level of organization and cleanliness. So one thing we always forget about is we take these times to get organized and to redo a room and drawers, but then we forget that other people live in the house with us. You all have to be on the same page. So if you have children, It starts very young by showing them, training them, coaching them, and teaching them how to maintain a certain way of organization. Those are lessons that they are going to take in the future to their own home and their kids. So it's very important. Don't think, well, they're my kids or they're just young, so, oh, we'll just clean up after them. Because then that's teaching them they don't have to pick up after themselves. They don't have to stay organized. And then you're wearing yourself out. So just having a designated area for their toys, for their books, somewhere to do homework, to where papers are not scattered everywhere. Get them on board. Everybody has their own level of, I guess, a comfortable standard, and you all have to come to an agreement on it. But one person running the whole house with those options is not going to happen. You have to get everybody on board. So that's a huge key. Sit down, have a family meeting if you have to. That also comes in like the chore list and stuff. If you guys do chores, roll it into that. If you don't do chores and you don't think that's right or whatever, that's fine too. But don't think one person can keep the whole house running and organized and stay centered. If you're keeping the house organized but you're constantly stressed out and you're constantly pushed over the rim, that's because you're not delegating. So you're staying organized but you're not staying centered. The reason to stay organized is to become centered and to become happy and healthy and have a good energy coming off. So that's why everybody has to take their part in it. They'll be happier, you'll be happier. So make sure both of those are staying level. You're not saying, yes, I'm all organized now, that's great, but I'm exhausted by keeping it that way. So find that even balance in your home and your household and make the best of it. With kids, you can make it into games. Adults, it's just growing up. It's something we have to do. So I love my house being nice and neat and organized, but it doesn't have to be a museum. I want people to come in and be able to sit down on the couch and sit down in the chair and relax and throw their feet up and curl up with a blanket and take the throw off and use it and leave their shoes in the middle of the floor. That's fine. Those are livable homes. I want that. But into the night, the shoes need to go by the door. The blankets at some point have to start getting thrown back over the couch or put back in the basket they were in. So it's just little things. After it's organized, you will fall into place. But that will help you become a centered person and feel at peace and at calm and radiate more of a happy, healthier energy. And that's the goal behind all of it. We get so lost in the everyday life. I think we get off track and things get chaotic and we forget how to get back to a healthy spot. So we need to stop, tap the brakes a little bit, and say, what needs to happen in my life to get me there? So that's my little piece of the pie. Please let me know what you think as far as the ideas. Send me what you've done, what's motivated you, how you've changed home, office, garage. You know, I love knowing it motivated somebody else and you motivated somebody else. So on that note, we're going to jump on to the next topic. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this does motivate you to take those steps, because getting organized is a daunting task, but it's really not that big of a deal. Good luck!